Torej, lepo dobrodošli na novinarski konferenci ob Evropskem srečanju mladih. Če me vsi dobro slišite, bom jaz govorila kar brez mikrofona, zato ker imamo samo enega na voljo, pa da si ga ne bomo preveč podajali. Torej, moje ime je Marija Poklukar. Govorniki na novinarski konferenci pa bodo brat Matthew, prior Tezejske skupnosti, potem sestra Mojca Šimanc, generalna tajnica Slovenske škofovske konference, potem Ana Marija Jemac, ki je vodja pripravljalne skupine na župniji Zadobrova, tukaj na moji levi, in pa Maja Lampret, direktorica Zavoda za kulturo in turizem Prijetno domače, Ivančna Gorica. Govorniki bodo podajali izjave v slovenščini in angleščini, gospa Neža pa bo sproti prevajala. Zdaj sem bila že kar dolga, tako da lahko ponovim, če bo potrebno kaj.
As said in Slovenia, but now we would like to welcome you at the press conference. We are happy to be able to host today these very nice speakers. I will try to translate simultaneously in a way, but in a panel, as you will see, we will be having or hosting Brother Matthew, then Sister Mojca Šimanc and Maja Lampret and Ana Marija Jemac. More details about their functions you can find in the info pack you have received in the entry.
Izjave vseh govorcev, njihova imena, nazive najdete v ovojnicah, ki jih lahko potem, če jih še niste, prevzamete ob vhodu. Na voljo so tako v slovenščini kot v angleščini.
You can find the declarations of each speaker in Slovenian and in English language at the beginning. So in the entrance, you can identify them by English or Slovenian in the corner left of the envelope.
Hvala. Predajam pa zdaj besedo kar bratu Matthewu.
Well, thank you very much for this welcome. It's a joy to be here in Ljubljana. Young people from Slovenia have been coming to the Tezej meetings already since so many years. I remember when I was a new brother in Tezej, I was very surprised to discover that Slovenian people exist. Our brothers had a great sensitivity at a time when most people were speaking about Yugoslavia. And I discovered that Yugoslavia was made up of different people, each with their own culture, each with their own characteristics. And it was a learning process for me. And it's a great joy to have received this invitation from the Slovenian Bishops' Conference in close collaboration with the Archdiocese of Ljubljana. And also a great joy that the other churches present here in Ljubljana, the Evangelical Church of the Augsburg Confession, and also the Serbian and Macedonian Orthodox churches have been involved in the preparation of this meeting. As you know, this is the 46th European meeting of young people, which is part of this pilgrimage of trust on earth, launched by our community's founder, Brother Roger, in the late 1970s.
I'll sum up in a way. It is really zelo lepo je, da sem danes lahko tukaj z vami. Mladi iz Slovenije se že veliko let številčno udeležujejo evropskih srečanj mladih, ki jih pripravlja naša tezejska skupnost. Presenetilo me je, ko sem v preteklosti prvič srečal mlade iz Slovenije v Tezeju, saj se niti nisem zavedal, da država sama obstaja. Takrat so še vsi govorili o Jugoslaviji in me je to zato prijetno presenetilo, ko sem prvič srečal večje skupine mladih, ki so se udeležili oziroma obiskali naš kraj. Z velikim veseljem smo zato tudi sprejeli povabilo Slovenske škofovske konference v tesnem sodelovanju z ljubljansko nadškofijo ob podpori Evangeličanske cerkve Augsburške veroizpovedi v Sloveniji in pa v povezavi z Srbsko pravoslavno in Makedonsko pravoslavno cerkvijo ter različnimi drugimi krščanskimi skupnostmi v mestu Ljubljana. To srečanje je 46. Evropsko srečanje mladih in je del zaupanja, oziroma romanja zaupanja na zemlji, ki ga je konec 70. let prejšnjega stoletja začel brat Rožin.
And these meetings, they seek to bring together young people, in this context essentially from Europe, to give them the opportunity to share together in the life of a church in a city, receiving hospitality from the local communities. People coming from different nations and church backgrounds, it's already a sign of unity, a sign of reconciliation, and I think in today's world, a sign of peace. That young people from different backgrounds come together, it's already a contribution towards peace in today's world. And I think
Torej, namen tak srečanj je zbrati mlade, predvsem z Evrope, in jim omogočiti, da izkusijo tako življenje cerkve v mestnem okolju, kot tudi gostoljubje v lokalnih skupnostih. In to znamenje edinosti in sprave, ki ga srečanje predstavlja v evropskem kontekstu, izraža hrepenenje mnogih mladih, ki prihajajo z različnih narodov in cerkvenih okoljih in tudi nekakšno upanje za mir.
And if I could perhaps add as well that we're very touched, very moved by the hospitality which has been shown by families here in the city to welcome young people who they do not know, young people who from different countries are coming to take part in this meeting. It's already a beautiful sign of openness, of reconciliation, to welcome a stranger, to open our doors to someone we don't know. That shows the treasure that's at the heart of Slovenian life. A treasure which is perhaps hidden at times, but which needs to be uncovered, needs to be valued.
Zelo pozitivno nas je presenetilo, s kakšnim gostoljubjem smo bili sprejeti v lokalni skupnosti, v mestu, kar res lahko začutimo preko vsega, kar smo že do sedaj doživeli, in se res vidi, da je ta gostoljubnost, topla dobrodošlost del slovenske kulture, slovenskega bitja, in ga je res treba še večkrat izpostaviti.
The letter which has been prepared for this meeting and which will be used throughout the year in Teze and elsewhere bears the title Journeying Together.
Torej, pismo 2024, ki ga bomo uporabljali za to letošnje srečanje, tako v Tezeju, se pravi začenši sedaj, pa potem pozneje tekom leta 2024, nosi naslov Skupaj na poti.
And its reflections provide an itinerary which begin with listening and ends with journeying together in today's world.
Razmišljanja v tem pismu predstavljajo načrt poti, ki se začne s poslušanjem in konča s skupno potjo v današnjem svetu.
It raises questions on the importance of listening, of journeying with Jesus who excluded no one, of being humble enough not to want to impose our own ideals, and of how suffering can be passed on through generations in peoples who have been exploited and humiliated.
Pismo odpira vprašanja o pomenu poslušanja, o potovanju z Jezusom, ki ni nikogar izključeval, o tem, da smo dovolj ponižni, da ne želimo vsiljevati svojih idealov, in o tem, kako se lahko pri narodih, ki so bili izkoriščeni in ponižani, trpljenje prenaša skozi generacije.
And it finishes with the question, like the yeast mixed into the flour, though poor in means and perhaps feeling small, will we dare to set out again, not alone, but with others, mutually enriched as we journey together? In that respect, it meets very much with the synodal process in the Catholic Church within an ecumenical context.
Zaključi se z vprašanjem, si bomo kot kvas umešan v moko, čeprav s skromnimi sredstvi in čeprav se morda počutimo majhne, upali znova stopiti na pot ne sami, ampak s drugimi, vzajemno bogatejši, ko bomo na poti skupaj. V tem pogledu se v ekumenskem kontekstu zelo ujema s sinodalnim procesom v katoliški cerkvi.
Tako bila sem naprošena, da povem nekaj besed o sadovih, ki jih je čas priprave že prinesel cerkvi na Slovenskem, malo pa tudi pod vidikom ekumenizma in sinodalnosti, dve besedi, ki jih je že brat Matthew omenil, in se na to tudi bom navezala.
Ali da malo bolj pogosto?
Prav, kar brcnite me komentar.
So I have been asked to address a little bit the aspect of preparation for this meeting, touching upon synodality and hospitality that has been already.
Ecumenism.
And ecumenism especially in this aspect.
Tako bi razdelila sadove na sadove same priprave, potem dogajanja zdaj in upanja za prihodnost.
I would like to divide my speech into the fruits that could be gathered from the preparation era, from the present moment and in the future.
Mislim, da so se sadovi pravzaprav začeli oblikovati že ob sami napovedi, da bo srečanje 2023 se dogajalo v Ljubljani, ker to je tisto prvo veselje, ki se nekako porodi v ljudeh, ko slišijo, da bo Ljubljana gostovala zelo pomemben dogodek na mednarodni ravni in tudi v verskem pomenu besede.
I believe that the first fruits have already been appearing when we have been notified that Ljubljana will be hosting the event. The joy that appears with the announcement was really remarkable at that time.
In ta prenova veselja se je začela ne samo za mlade, ki se bodo udeležili dogodka, ampak tudi za kraj, v katerega so mladi prišli, in za ljudi, ki sprejemajo mlade, kot je bilo delno tudi že omenjeno.
Yeah, we could see that there was a renewal that happened with the announcement that then appeared, and it appeared within the youth community, within the local community itself, and we could already see it happening on the spot.
En vidik je krščanska gostoljubnost, ki so jo ljudje prebudili v srcih, ob kateri so prav gotovo morali premagati tudi kakšen strah ali pa predsodek.
Yeah, one of the things is Christian hospitality. When people had to overcome their fear of the new, they overcame their prejudices about strangers and in a way opened their hearts to new people.
Drug vidik pa je tudi mreža sodelovanja, ki se je vzpostavila ob pomoči pripravljalne skupine, ki je vključila v to dogajanje zelo veliko ljudi prav na terenu, torej v mestu Ljubljani in okolici.
And the second aspect was really the preparation group that established a newly established network of people within the city of Ljubljana and the surrounding areas.
Ki je vključevala različne ustanove, različne strokovne službe, ne samo recimo župnije ali vernike, ampak zelo širok spekter ljudi.
A very good aspect of this was that it involved not only churches and church communities, but it involved other institutions, institutions and organizations within the area.
No, ob pripravljalni skupini, ki smo jo spoznali v tem času, smo začutili dejansko ekumenski duh Tezeja, se pravi povezovanje ljudi, ki verujejo v Boga, kljub nekim različnim zgodovinskim ali kulturnim razlikam.
Yeah, in the preparation time, we were able to get to know the preparation group, and we really felt the spirit of Taizé there. So we could feel the ecumenical essence of Taizé, that the spirit that brought together Christian believers, no matter their church or denomination.
No, potem je pa še ta beseda sinodalnost, ki jo v tem obdobju pogosto omenjamo. Tukaj pa vidim, da je tezejsko srečanje v resnici sinodalno srečanje.
And now then there is the word of synodality, which in this context really comes to life as a synodal meeting.
Morda v tistem delu sinodalne poti, ki govori o cerkvi kot skupnosti ali pa o cerkvah, torej o potovanju ljudi, ki so na skupni poti in poklicani, da prinašajo veselo sporočilo evangelija.
Perhaps especially in the part when the synodal path speaks of the church as a community on a journey called to bring the good news of the gospel.
In če smem citirati, navajati papeža Frančiška, on govori o ljudeh, ki potujejo kot skupnost, ki naredijo prvi korak, se vključijo, spremljajo, obrodijo sad in praznujejo.
If I may quote Pope Francis when he says that the community of missionary disciples takes the first step together, they engage, they accompany, they bear fruit, and they celebrate together on a journey as a church.
Tako, tudi ta proces smo tudi mi videli, se pravi prvi korak, pobudo za srečanje, ki se je zgodila na lanskem srečanju mladih.
This is a process that we also saw, so the first initiative to hold the meeting here that was announced on the last European Youth Meeting.
Potem gostitelji, mladi in širok krog sodelavcev, ki so se vključili v to dogajanje.
Then the hosts and young people and the co-workers who have been involved in the preparation era.
Potem tezejska skupnost in njihovi sodelavci, ki so spremljali ta dogodek skupaj z domačo cerkvijo oziroma cerkvami.
Then the Tezej community who all took part in the preparation, they helped with the event within different churches in the local environment.
Potem pa veselje, praznovanje, ki nas čaka v samem dogodku, v cerkvah in potem v Stožicah.
And then the joy of the celebration of the event itself that awaits us in the common prayers and events in Stožice.
In da zaključim z upanjem, da se bodo sadovi tega dogodka zares, da bodo nekako ostali, ne samo v Ljubljani in Sloveniji, in potem, ampak potem tudi z mladimi odšli nazaj po vsej Evropi.
And to conclude, I hope that the fruit of this joy will be poured over the city of Ljubljana, but also over all the young people who are attending the meeting, and that the joy would spread after their return over the whole European way.
Hvala lepa. Preden predam besedo vam, gospa Jemac, bi samo še nakratko pojasnila, ker morda prej nisem bila dovolj jasna. Gospa Jemac je vključena v priprave na župnijskem nivoju, torej lahko res poda te praktične izkušnje, tudi prve vtise z našega srečanja.
Torej, najprej naj povem, da sem vesela in počaščena, da lahko spregovorim kot predstavnica ene od župnij gostiteljic.
I would like to start with saying that I'm really honored and happy to be able to speak as one of the representatives of host parishes.
Torej, župnija Ljubljana Zadobrova je ena od manjših župnij v Ljubljani, tudi ena bolj obrobnih župnij v Ljubljani, ampak letos nosi posebno zgodbo.
Okay, the parish Ljubljana Zadobrova is one of the more remote Ljubljana parishes on the outskirts of Ljubljana, and this year it carries a special story.
Torej, če začnem, da ob novici, da bo letošnje evropsko srečanje mladih potekalo tu v Ljubljani, sem se že januarja razveselila te novice, predvsem pa obujanja poznanstev in spominov na svoje srečanja v Tezeju.
When I got news in the last January, I really got happy with this news that I got, so that the meeting will be held here, because it reminded me of the times when I was attending Tezej meetings myself.
Tam sem spoznala tudi svojega moža.
This is where I met my husband.
Torej, z najno družino, odkar sva župljana, zdaj v župniji Ljubljana Zadobrova, sva začutila, da tam tudi poznajo duh Tezeja, da poznajo speve in da so bili nekoč tudi sami udeleženci teh srečanj.
Since we have been parishioners of Ljubljana Zadobrova parish, we have experienced that there are also other members of the community that have experienced the spirit of Tezej.
Tudi doživljava njihovo gostoljubnost, srčnost, zavzetost in pomirjujočo povezanost.
Yeah, we also experience their hospitality, warmth, commitment and reassuring togetherness of these parishioners.
Od letošnjega avgusta se vse to odraža še močneje, saj so Sneberje, odkoder smo doma z družino, prizadele poplave.
Since August this year, all this has been even more evident, because Sneberje, the place where we are from, has been hit by the floods in August.
Na pomoč je priskočilo veliko ljudi, odprta srca in roke smo srečevali na vsakem koraku, še posebej iz župnije, in tudi novo bivališče začasno, v katerem smo z družino sedaj, so ponudili prav vso v Ljubljani.
So many people came to our help. They opened their hearts and hands, and they have offered us a new place to live for the time. Especially, you could see the power of the community there.
Zbirali so prispevke, pomagali s čiščenjem, pospravljanjem in obnovitvenimi deli.
They collected donations. They helped with cleaning up and tidying up, and helped us with the renovation work.
Ko so se začele intenzivnejše priprave na to tezejsko srečanje, me prvotno navdušenje ni minilo, vseeno pa si nisem mogla predstavljati, kako se bodo župljani odzvali v tej novi situaciji.
When the intensive preparations for the TZ meeting started, my initial enthusiasm did not pass, but I could not imagine how the parishioners would react.
Lahko sem računala torej na njihovo odprtost in poznavanje tezeja, tezejskih spevov, molitev, vendar je povsem nekaj drugega odpreti svoj dom, se torej tudi odpovedati drugim načrtom za novo leto in ostati doma.
I could count on their openness and knowledge of Teze chants and prayers, but it is quite another thing to offer your home or to give up your plans to celebrate the new year and to stay at home.
Zelo sem bila vesela mladih v župniji, ki so se mi z zanosom pridružili in pomagali navduševati in oznanjevati to idejo, da postanemo gostitelji mnogim Romarjem.
I was delighted that the young people joined me with their enthusiasm in announcing this meeting in the parish and encouraging people to be hosts.
Predvsem zato, ker sama nisem mogla biti prvi zgled, saj naš dom še ni obnovljen do te mere, da bi lahko sprejel Romarje.
Especially because I could not be a role model myself, as our home has not yet been renovated to the point where it could welcome Teze pilgrims.
Sprva skromnejši odziv sožupljanov se je kmalu začel širiti in navduševati še ostale. Tako Romarje lahko sprejmejo tudi tisti, ki so že sprejeli nas poplavljence.
So the first initial modest response began to spread and inspire others, and the pilgrims will be welcomed by those who have already offered their premises to us, the flood victims.
Lahko smo izkusili, da stiska povezuje in dela ljudi močnejše, hkrati pa tudi bolj občutljive za sočloveka.
Hardship brings people together and makes them stronger, but also more sensitive to their fellow human beings. We were able to experience that ourselves.
Zaradi nedavne izkušnje je naša mala župnija lahko tako hitro in tako široko odprla vrata tezejskim Romarjem.
And it is because of this recent experience of hardship that our small parish was able to open the doors so quickly and wisely to Teze pilgrims.
Hvala lepa. Pa še eno dodatno pojasnilo, preden predam besedo gospe Landre. Gospa Maja pripravlja eno od delavnic, ki potekajo v popoldanskem času na Evropskem srečanju mladih. Posebej smo se pa odločili, da povabimo njo, da predstavi še ta vidik, zato ker delavnica, ki jo pripravljajo, govori o čebelah, ki so prav poseben element v okviru slovenske tradicije, pa tudi samega srečanja, ker so neko tako rdeča nit okrasitve v Stožicah.
Hvala lepa. Nas pa veseli, da je srečanje lepa priložnost tudi za spoznavanje slovenske kulture in dediščine.
Thank you very much. So we are really glad that this meeting will be also an opportunity to explore a little bit of Slovenian cultural heritage.
Čebela je tako zelo majhna, tako zelo dragocena, pomembna ne le za naravo, ampak tudi za preživetje človeka.
A bee is a very small creature, but it's really important not only for the nature, but also for human survival.
Predvsem pa predstavlja simbol izjemne modrosti, marljivosti in izjemne organiziranosti.
And especially it represents a symbol of hard work, wisdom and
Organiziranosti.
Organization.
Slovenija je dežela čebelarjev. Velja izpostaviti, da imamo največ čebelarjev na prebivalca.
Okay, Slovenia is a beekeeper country. Maybe it's worth mentioning that it is a country with most beekeepers per capita.
Imamo izjemno čebelarsko dediščino. Tu lahko omenim Anže Panje, panske končnice, čebeljak, kranjsko čebelo.
Okay, so we have an exceptional beekeeping heritage. To mention the Azure beehives, the beehive panels, apiaries.
Čebelarstvo kot način življenja je bilo nedavno upisano na UNESCO seznam nesnovne kulturne dediščine.
And beekeeping as a way of life in Slovenia has been inscribed on the UNESCO list of intangible cultural heritage.
Od tu pa izhaja tudi Svetovni dan čebel.
And this is where the International Day of Bees comes from.
Čebela je od nekdaj, mi rečemo, žlahtna spremljevalka slovenske kulture in je svetel zgled urejene skupnosti in sodelovanja.
The bee is a noble companion of Slovenian culture and it is a shining example of orderly community and good cooperation.
Vrednote ali pravila, ki veljajo v čebeljih družinah, so spoštovanje, skrb za druge, pripadnost, delavnost, predvsem pa odgovornost do lastnih in skupnih nalog.
The rules that apply in bee colonies are respect, care for others, belonging, and above all, the responsibility for one's own and common tasks.
Čebele nas tako učijo o pomembnih vrednotah, ki so še kako aktualne in mnogokrat v navdih.
So the bees teach us about important values and they are also very inspirational for us.
Na tajzejskem srečanju bomo s sodelavci hiše Kranjske čebele iz Višnje Gore izvedli 2 delavnici.
At this meeting with the House of Carniolian Bee from Višnja Gora, we will be offering 2 workshops.
Sestavljeni boste iz 2 delov, izobraževalnega in ustvarjalnega.
They will be consisting of educational and a creative part.
V prvem bomo predstavili slovensko čebelarstvo, kranjsko čebelo in pomen čebele za preživetje človeka.
In the first part, we will introduce the Slovenian beekeeping, Carniolian bee, and the importance of it for the pollination in the future, for the survival of people.
V drugem delu pa bodo udeleženci slikali na panjske končnice, katere je udeležencem poklonila Čebelarska zveza Slovenije.
In the second part, the participants will paint on beehive panels, which were donated by the Slovenian Beekeeping Association.
Panjske končnice so namreč pomemben del slovenske kulturne dediščine. Ljudska umetnost na panjskih končnicah je imela namreč pomembno vlogo. Pogosto je bil to način, kako so tudi v družine prinesli biblijske motive.
So the folk art connected to beehive panels is connected to the local tradition, and it has been a way in which people brought biblical motifs to their homes.
Nekatere izmed njih bo mogoče videti tudi, oziroma je že mogoče videti tudi na glavnem prizorišču v Stožicah, in sicer panjske končnice s prizori Jezusovega rojstva, Zadnja večerja, Trije modri z vzhoda, Beg v Egipt, Svadba v Kani Galilejski in druge.
Some of those beehives you can see on the main venue in Stožice with the scenes of Jesus' birth, the Last Supper, 3 wise men from the east, the flight to Egypt, the wedding of Cana of Galilee and the resurrection of Jesus and others.
Ravno tako bo v Stožicah moč videti tudi izdelke, katere bodo ustvarili udeleženci na delavnicah.
And you will be able to see the products of the workshops also in Stožice after these young pilgrims will create them together.
V hiši Kranjske čebele obiskovalce učimo o čebelah in pomenu čebel za preživetje človeka in v izjemno veselje nam je, da lahko to znanje prenašamo tudi na tem srečanju.
In our house we teach students or visitors about the importance of the bee life for our communities, and we are really glad that we can spread this knowledge around also in this meeting.
Čebele povezujejo, ne samo v Sloveniji čebelarje, povezujejo na različne načine in verjamem, da bodo povezale mlade tudi tokrat in svojimi vrednotami, načinom delovanja tudi navdihovale. Hvala.
Bees connect, and I believe that they will connect our communities with their approach, with their good example also in this meeting.
Hvala lepa. Vabljeni na tem mestu, da si pogledate na naši spletni strani tudi katere druge delavnice ponujamo, ker je res visok razpon v smislu ponudbe in izvajalcev delavnic, tako da so zelo pestre.
So you're also kindly invited to check on our webpage the list of other workshops, because we have really tried to make them as diverse and interesting as possible.
Hvala. Potem pa še nekaj tehničnih informacij. Vsi ste lahko prejeli takale mape, v katerih imate nekaj informacij iz konference v slovenski ali angleški različici.
And also technical information, you were all able to get the materials in the folders we have mentioned in the beginning.
Med drugim imate v teh mapah poleg izjav govorcev tudi pismo, ki ga je omenil brat Matthew.
Among other, you have also in the folder, apart from declarations of our speakers, also the letter that was mentioned by Brother Matthew.
To pismo je iztočnica, ki jo tejzejski bratje vsako leto ob tem času izdajo javnosti in je vodilo za mlade za premišljevanje tekom evropskega srečanja, pa potem tudi v prihajajočem letu v tejzejski skupnosti.
Okay, so the letter is issued at the beginning of every European meeting, and it is valid for the full next year, and it helps or assists young people for reflect on the topic of the letter during the meeting, but also during the whole upcoming year.
In potem je še ena zadeva, ki jo imate v teh mapah, in sicer so to sporočila voditeljev različnih krščanskih cerkva in drugih vidnejših svetovnih organizacij, ki so jih napisali prav posebej za srečanje v Ljubljani.
And then there is another file in the folder where you can see the messages of different important representatives of churches and associated organizations.
Tako je. Potem pa samo še, kar se tiče akreditacij, za vsa vprašanja oziroma za tiste, ki še želite prejeti akreditacije, vas te poprosim, da se potem po tej konferenci obrnete name.
And with regards to accreditations, in case you still need to arrange some accreditation yourself, please find me after the meeting.
Se pravi, za novinarje in fotografe, obojne.
For the journalists and photographers.
Sedaj pa smo na voljo še z nekaj vprašanj, če je kakšno. Lepo prosim, da predvidite.
Hello, my name is Jan Zusnik, I'm from Pop Television. I would just like to ask technically if you could wait with the translation till the end, because technically we would like to have the whole statement. So, the center of your work is the word reconciliation. I don't know if you're known, but this is a very strong political word in Slovenia in this generation. Unfortunately, it has proven to be elusive. But in this context, we're talking about reconciliation between descendants of Catholics and conservatives and descendants of Marxists and atheists, which stems to the events of the Second World War. Do you think that this concept is also possible for this context, to reach out and prove reconciliation, brotherhood between atheists and religious people?
Okay, bom poskusila prevesti to grobo, če ne me boste pa v slovenščini dopolnili. Torej, vprašanje je, osrednja tema srečanja je sprava in kako smo razumeli, v tem kontekstu govorimo o spravi med različnimi denominacijami katoliških cerkva. Zanima me, če mislite, da je takšna vrste sprava možna tudi med ateisti in verniki.
Is this a question for Sister Moitza?
Anyone who's going to say, but it's your experience. You also reach out
I think that, yes.
Yeah, no, it's... If I could say that for our founder, Brother Roger, you know, the question of reconciliation among Christians, it was never a goal in itself. But that, you know, if as Christians we can show that we love each other, then perhaps there's a greater chance for peace in the human family. That's what he always used to say to us. Yeah? And so I think in that context, yeah, then this desire for peace among all people of goodwill, yeah, that's an important part of our life. Want to translate? Or?
Ja. Torej, za brata Rožeja, ki je bil ustanovitelj celotnega gibanja, je bila sprava med kristijani ni bila nikoli cilj. Bolje je bilo v ospredju na nek način nesebična ljubezen, ne, se pravi, in to, da pač, če obstaja ta ljubezen, pa mir med ljudmi dobre volje, da je pač vse mogoče.
And I think I spoke on the 27th of December when we were at the Zavod Svetega Stanislava, yeah, about the history of this school. And it was something very, very important for me to share that with the young people. I'm not an expert on Slovenian history. I can't comment on that. But this school, it was opened by the Archbishop of Ljubljana, who was Slovenian in the time of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During the First World War, it became a hospital. During the Kingdom of Yugoslavia, it became again a school. Then during the Nazi occupation, it was the headquarters of the Gestapo, for Slovenia, Serbia and Croatia. After the Second World War, it became the interrogation center for the Yugoslav communist authorities. And many people there were moved on to their deaths. It then became a military camp. And then Slovenian independence in 1991, it returned to being a school. And it was as if there's a condensation, not only of Slovenian history, but of European history, at least Central and Eastern European history, in this school. And for me, that raised a great question. What does it mean to look at our history with an open and lucid manner, not in order to judge history, because how would I have reacted in those circumstances? I can't know. But to say what happened, and it was very wonderful. There was an old Slovenian friend who was at this prayer when I spoke, and with her she brought a friend who she's known for over 40 years, and at the end of the prayer, this woman said to her, my father was imprisoned here by the communist authorities. And she'd never told this story to this friend, Sometimes we need to speak about these stories to liberate. Not to judge, but to liberate. Is that a path? I don't know. We sing this beautiful song in Slovenian. You have to say it. Yeah, but how does it begin? Yeah. With you is the source of life. With God is the source of life. In your light, we see light. So I think our journey during these days is to try to go to the source of life that, as Christians, we believe is in God, and with God's light, to look at what we've experienced.
Če samo povzamemo, ko je 27.12. nagovoril zbrane na Škofijski klasični gimnaziji oziroma v Zavodu svetega Stanislava, je naslovil tudi zgodovino šole in izpostavila, da je bila za njega zelo pomembna, zaradi tega, ker je prehajala tako iz oblike šole v sedež, v bolnišnico, v šolo, v sedež Gestapa. Po drugi svetovni vojni je bila povezana z delovanjem komunistične partije in potem po letu 1991 na nek način postala ponovno šola. In v svojem nagovoru je enačil to z evropsko zgodovino oziroma zgodovino mnogih evropskih držav. Kot odgovor na to, kaj za njega pomeni pač ta pogled, oziroma zakaj je za njega to bilo pomembno omeniti, je to, da se mu zdi, da je treba kritično, ampak jasno pogledati na situacijo brez obsojena. Razložil je tudi zgodbo o dveh udeleženkah, ki sta se ob koncu molitve podelili, oziroma ena izmed njih podelila, da je njen oče bil zaprt v tem zavodu, kar se ga še posebej dotaknilo, in na nek način videl v takšnih dogodkih tudi pot. Končal pa je s tem, da ali je to res pot, se pravi tako srečevanje za doseganje sprave, da ne ve. Omenil pa tudi eno izmed pesmi, ki lahko najdete v Pesmarici, ki gre nekako tako, da je pri Bogu izvir življenja in nazaj k njemu poskušamo priti tudi mi.
No, sicer se pa lepo zahvaljujem vsem govorcem, pa tudi vam za vaš obisk. Vse dobro.
Thank you for your attendance.